Hello, I'm glad you're here. This April, I have been stunned as the month began with the amount of cold, wet weather we've been having. And I've actually really been enjoying it because we've had rain mixed with snow, and I love that weather because I come inside and I get super cozy and don't go out again until I go out and go for a walk and then come back in and get cozy. But although it's been lots of rain and some snow and hail mixed in, we've also had a couple of rainbows. So I was inspired to do my April bullet journal at the beginning of the month, in a weather theme, and in particular, what I've been seeing. And so here it is, the April bullet journal for you. Welcome. I'm your Doodle Dragon, and I love to doodle and incorporate simple drawings into my life in a way that make my life better and enable me to share with others. To join me along this journey and to help others have more fun with doodles for planning, positivity, and personal connections, please like this video and subscribe. Throughout the spread this month, I used my Tombow dual brush pens in order to do the colors. And for the snowflakes that you'll see sprinkled throughout, I used my silver Sharpie, which I've had for a long time, and the tip wasn't very fine anymore because it's been through a lot over the last couple years with writing on many different surfaces, from plastics to labels to wood. So I think if I were to do this spread again, I would probably use a Sharpie for the snowflakes that had been through a little bit less. For the middle pages of my spread, which is the first place I open my notebook up to when I take a look at my day, I use the left-hand side for notes, and I tend to write Post-it notes to myself throughout the day, and I just stick them on that page, and then I come back later and do some more organization. For the food prep side, I also tend to use Post-it notes to make a quick grocery list and some notes for meal planning. On the next page, I check in with myself about how is it going. And I like to have just a couple of different things that I track for habits to make sure that I am focusing on areas of growth and things that are going to help me be energized and be able to do my best for myself and others. For this month, I chose to track my sleep. I'm trying to get around 7 hours. My meals, which I prefer to have filled with lots of vegetables. My work, which I want to know how many hours I am working. And also my YouTube to see how many hours I'm putting onto my YouTube channel. Those are just 4 things for this month. They change every month depending on what I am curious about, learning about myself, or whether I want to focus on something specific to improve my life or the lives of those around. And I did use the bucket filler as a reminder that I need to be filling my own bucket and those around me. And if you're not familiar with the term bucket filling, it's really adding value and pleasantry to other people and to yourself in order to energize and increase capacity. So if you're filling someone's bucket, you're doing something that helps them out or is nice to them or makes them feel good. 2 great kids books on filling your bucket are How Full Is Your Bucket by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer, and also Have You Filled a Bucket Today by Carol McLeod. Although I love to take my journal with me everywhere I go, I take it to work, I take it to the grocery store and the coffee shops, and that way I can save notes wherever I am and write my schedule. I do like having a calendar that's all on one page, or at least that I can see all at once. So for that reason, I started expanding my pages for my calendar. And if you want to see a video about that, I will link it in the description. But basically, it just allows me to have a nice calendar that I can write on with all of my dates and appointments and still have a small notebook. And it just works for me really well. Continuing this theme of wet weather, I decided to put big drops for my labels on the days of the week. So for that reason, I just have one letter to represent each weekday. And I thought it turned out pretty cool where it does look like little drops of water, and I like that. I also put April showers bring May flowers at the top because I am hoping and looking forward to seeing those Mayflowers and vegetables in the gardens. It has been so cold here. Normally we could already have tomatoes planted in the ground, and I haven't even seen them in the stores. So hoping for that warm weather and looking forward to it. I continued thinking about drops and not just filling buckets, but also just where do we put our drops of energy. And I always like to think about what I should prioritize. And so I've got all these little raindrops representing the drops of energy that I am putting towards things. And there is a puddle at the bottom where the drops are accumulating and making a difference, which I thought was a nice metaphor. And then also it just made me think about my rain boots. Here in Western Washington, we often wear rain boots and raincoats, but we don't use a lot of umbrellas. I think it's because we have so much wind that the umbrellas are damaged, or they don't really protect us from the rain anyways because it's coming sideways. So I just thought I'd throw that in. If you're not from around here, that might be surprising that with all the rain we get here, most of us don't usually use umbrellas. The purpose of this final page is for me to have a place to write my gratitudes, and I can look back and see the things that I was thankful for. And that's one good way to energize myself and to help fill my own bucket. So I hope that you are able to find some time to fill your bucket and even add a couple drops to somebody else's bucket. I always have so much fun making these bullet journal setups and doing the drawings. I hope that you find some time to do things that you love that bring you joy and happiness and fill your bucket and someone else's. You can see here how the whole setup turned out. And also I have listed the Tombow colors that I used at the end. If you noticed earlier in the video that I had the Crayola markers out, that was really just to hold my page up, but I do use the Crayolas. Feel free to check the description for links to other videos and materials. Thanks for watching. See you next time.